Hey everybody, it's Lee with Oregon Arboriculture, and today we're going to talk about the ShootOut. So this is a really cool knife made by BenchMade. Let me get in here a little bit closer. Let me show you its features. All right, check that out. Really quick in and out. So it's a real quick to respond knife, but it's so light and it's pretty durable. There's a tiny bit of play here, but almost none. And it's kind of neat. It has a safety feature. It's not going to shoot out hard enough to stab into something, so it locks itself in place. And if you were to pull it out, it's not going to do any more movement after that as well. So you have to pull it all the way out to get the action to work. Pretty neat little safety features. Got a little glass breaker on the bottom. Nice little carry, so you can just have it in your pants pocket most of the time. I think it's pretty cool, but is it the best arborist knife on the planet? I doubt it, but we'll see how well it works for ropes. So some guys were talking about ropes. This is a perfect example. We call these a puff. I've got 2 puffs. That means a few of my strands are compromised. It's not enough to really do anything. And here I have 3 puffs, or almost 4. That is enough to compromise the ability of the rope to maintain its full working load limit, but this is a tagline. You're never going to use it for 8,000 pounds or whatever its working load limit is. But then as we get up here, this is where it gets a little bit more serious. We've got at least 7 puffs on this one piece, and that means somebody whacked it probably right in here, and then the puffs separated themselves. So the strands, it's all about the strands working together. From this point on, it's looking pretty good. So this is where I'm going to repair the rope. And when I say repair, I'm just going to cut it off. But to show you a little bit of the technique of how we do it, this just makes it a little easier. Electrical tape's really cheap. You can get it at the dollar store. But I put on a nice piece, get a pretty tight wrap, and then I wrap backwards from the place where I'm going in. But this will make, if you do this right, you're gonna do about a 2-inch piece. I'm gonna wrap backwards. I'm gonna have about 2 inches of tape, and then I'm gonna wrap forward again. So it's basically 2 layers of tape. I'm wrapping back toward the working end of the new rope that I'm going to have when I'm done, and away from the standing end of the opposite side of the rope that I'm going to be done with. And so now I've worked my way back and forth twice. I'll tear that off. Now we'll see how well the knife works, because we're going to be cutting through 2 layers of electrical tape and the rope itself. And you can see this is the factory edge. I haven't even used it, other than I think I opened a box with it when I first got it. Oh, I cut a little bit of plants off. I mean, that slice is pretty smooth. That was actually pretty decent, and that's just the factory edge, and it feels super sharp, which is pretty cool. These come with a life sharp guarantee, so you can just take them in. If you live in Oregon especially, these are manufactured in Oregon City. And my blade's a little dirty because I was cutting some fodder for my rabbits at home. But anyway, this is a really cool knife. I think it is a great carry knife too, because it's so lightweight. I mean, really, if you ever feel the weight on one of these, it's like you're not even carrying anything in your pocket at all. I don't think it would be a good knife for prying, and I wouldn't say it's a survival knife, but have something on you that you could cut ropes with that's gonna do the job that you might need it to do. It's a great knife for that. I also like to seal just the very ends, just to keep the strands from, separating too easily. I mean, the tape's really gonna hold it together, but just a little bit of heat on the end kind of helps hold it together a little bit better. All right, so that's it. So we've adjusted our rope, we're ready to go. We actually put some weight on this. I really love this type of hitch specifically for connecting my gear. because I think it works really well. This is a difficult way to do it because if the rope sits tied really long term, it's going to make it a little bit difficult to untie, but not so much that you can't do it. Yeah, this has been here for a little bit, you can tell. But that's what's cool about the right kind of hitch, is you're going to be able to untie it even though it's been under a lot of pressure. And this one's been under a lot of pressure. We try not to use our tag line for probably more than 500 or 600 pounds. I mean, I think I've probably put 700 pounds on it in the past, which is more than you really should. But you can see it's been here for quite a while. So we are going to be retiring this guy right here. First of all, it's a little bit annoying to have to feed through this eye first when you're tying it off. That's a little bit annoying. There we go. It doesn't like to untie. Unless you're pulling, because you're pushing, it's not going to work as well. All right, I'm just going to cut this out because I don't really care. You know, ropes can really dull knives fast if you're doing a lot of this stuff every day. Ropes have a bunch of dirt in them. It's gonna dull your knife pretty fast. All right. I think that worked pretty good. All right, so we're retiring this, and here's why. The safety features of this have been locking open. And if it starts to do that, I oiled it first to see if that would work. I think the spring is just given up inside and it's not locking in place properly. So once you see any safety features on your tools start to give out, it's time to retire it. So this will become one of my kids' toys probably, but we've got something to replace it with. So one of my favorite hitches for tying on, so we use carabiners, some people only use rope, and I think that's fine and it works, but I like the ease and comfort of a carabiner, plus this extra weight means that I can throw this up and get it up over branches a lot easier, and we do that so often, I really like it. But so once through, twice through, around the standing end, and back through itself. And what I like is the tail of the working end to be going up in the same direction as the rest of it. So now when I've dressed the knot, now I'm going to set it. Once I set this, and you don't want too long of a tail, but I also don't want it to get in front of my gate on my carabiner. So if it's tied like this, the carabiner gate can still open the full, almost the entirety of the catch, more than enough to reconnect itself to the rope. And after this is set, that's not going anywhere, and that is plenty of room to reattach itself to itself. And this is a good carabiner, not brand new, but definitely working properly. So check it out. Thanks for checking in today, and see if you can find the ShootOut. Now what we're gonna do is we've got 50% off coupons for these. If you guys, we're just gonna do a random drawing. Send in any comment that you want on our page today, on this video, and after we look at them, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna randomly draw. So 50% off, that'll make something like this normally costs around $300. It's a custom made knife. You'll be getting it for around 150. So check it out. Tune in next time.